Hey everyone, welcome to Church Tech Support channel here on YouTube. My name is Roger, and today I'm excited for this video. We are going to be using Multitracks on Ableton now. Last two videos we talked about where can you get your Multitracks from 3 different sources, and we also set up our Ableton template for a worship set list. And today we're going to be combining both of those videos. We're going to be using the track folders that we created on the first video. And if you haven't seen it, go back to it. It's pretty easy. And then we're going to be using the template that we just created on our last video. Let's get started. All right, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to open up the template that we saved, which the template I saved is on my desktop. We're going to click on it. These two files are going to pop up when you open up the template folder. We're going to be opening up this one. So you're going to double click it and Ableton should start loading up. All right, we got Ableton loaded up with everything that we did from the last template. All right, now what we want to do, we want to add our track folder into our Ableton collections on the left side over here. You can see where it says collections down here. And then we have the option to add our folder so we can start dragging our tracks into here. So what we're going to do, we're going to click on add folder. Now remember when I said that you need to have your track folder along with your template folder. You can do this in your desktop, or if not, you can have them both on the hard drive as long as they're in the root file. So in my case, we're going to use the one that we have on my hard drive, which I got right over here, tracks. And then what we're going to do, we're going to click on open, and then right there we're going to see the track folders now appear on our collections right on the left side of Ableton. And what we're going to do now, we're going to click on tracks, and then there it is. I did forget to mention on the first video, when you purchase a track, it's going to download as a zip file, and then what you want to do, you want to decompress that zip file or unzip it and then drag it into your tracks folders. And then Ableton will read that you have that track in there, just an FYI. All right, as you can see here, we got my tracks loaded up right here. And then we're just gonna get an example right here. Let's see. All right, we're just gonna go with a song called Won't Stop Now by Elevation Worship. It's one of my favorite songs. Then what we're gonna do, we're gonna drop down where that folder is. So there's Won't Stop Now right over here. And we're just gonna click the folder, which is right here. And we're going to click on the drop down that's right next to it. And now when you download them from multitracks.com, they're going to come at this file format like this. They're going to have a multitracks folder, a samples folder, an album JPEG, and a multitracks.aos. What you want to do, you want to go where it says multitracks folder right here. Click on the drop down, and there's all your instruments for that track right there. All right, what we want to do, we want to drag all the instruments that we will need and exclude the instruments that we don't need. So for example, if on your Sunday worship set list, if you already have a drummer and let's say you already have a bass player as well and a keyboard player, we won't need the piano, the drums, and the bass track at all. So what I do in this case, you're gonna click on where the first track, which in this case is the acoustic guitar, and then you're gonna hold shift, and then you're gonna select the last track that's right there, which is synth flute. Again, you just hold shift, click the first, let me do this again, just click acoustic guitar, which is your first track, and then click and hold shift still and click the last track. Now on this step, you're gonna hold the command and you're going to start removing the tracks that you don't want, which in this case is going to be drums, bass, and piano. And now too, what I would recommend doing is remove the click track and the guide, because that we're going to add that later. So now what you want to do, keep holding command. You're going to left click, hold left click, and drag all this until you start seeing measure 1 right over here, and you're gonna drag all this right under click on and off channel, and then you're gonna let go. And there we go. We just literally just dragged all the tracks that we need for the first song. And as you can tell, I already created the channels with the track's name as in there. And then what we're gonna do, we're gonna zoom out. So if you're using a trackpad, you're just gonna pinch in, and then you can scroll down to see all of your tracks right there. So now if we start playing, well, before we start playing, we're gonna need our click and guide. So what you want to do, you want to click where it says click track, and it probably starts playing right now. You want to drag this. You don't have to hold command, just drag it on where it says click up here. And there we go, we got our click in there. And now you want to do the same thing with the guide, except put this in the guide channel. And there we go. So if we start playing now.
1 2 1 2 3 4. Intro. Intro.
And there we go. We got our first song in our set list. And let's see if you still drag some stuff onto our arrangement mode that you don't need anymore. For example, we already have background vocals singers with us, and you don't want the background vocals tracks. What you do, you select the channel, for example, background vocals, and then just delete it, backspace or delete. And there, it deletes it out of your tracks that you will need. So that's if like you drag something in accident or you don't need anymore, then you just delete it out of there. I will say most of the times you don't need the background vocals from the song. If you do, then just drag it in there, and you can still drag it back in if you needed it to. Then the next part is going to be a little bit complicated, but not too complicated. So the next part, what we want to do, let's say we want to flow with the first song into the second song. So you're going to zoom in, and right over here underneath the numbers, you're going to see that your mouse converts into the speaker icon. If it does, that means you can start playing the song with wherever measure you want from here. So let's start at 206.
Ending.
Which I forgot, 206 is kind of like the ending of the song.
Ending.
And then from here we want to start playing our second song, maybe if you look at your measure, at 215. So we want our second song to start playing at 215. So what we're going to do, you're going to have your speaker icon right at 215, and you're going to right click, and we're going to press add locator. So again, hover your mouse to 215, as long as it is a speaker icon. We're going to right click and then press on add locator. And now we added a locator on our template, and we're going to name this for our second song, Sing a New Song. So we're going to rename that to Sing a New Song. And then you're going to click on anywhere in the gray area of Ableton, and there we are. Now, it's going to be a lot of scrolling. To eliminate that, what we're going to do, we're going to click on acoustic guitar or whatever it's on your first track that you drag in, and then hold shift. You're going to scroll down, or don't hold shift yet, just scroll down until you get your last track. Hold shift, click the last one. In this command shortcut, we're going to do Command G, and it's going to group our tracks that we have for the first song. So again, it's Command G to group a certain amount of tracks. And then now we can collide this by pressing the collide button that's right left of 7. There, we just pretty much organize our Ableton template right there. Especially if you have the smaller screens, this will be very beneficial. So now we can kind of see, now we can start dragging in our next tracks into our marker right here, which is Sing a New Song. So let me go find it. All right, so we got Sing a New Song right over here. And now we're going to go to Multitracks. Remember, when you download something from multitracks.com, it's going to look at the same format right here. We're going to go to Multitracks, and then we're going to press acoustic guitar. Then we're going to hold shift and press the last track in that folder. And now hold command, and we're going to eliminate the stuff that we don't need. For example, in this case, we have singers, we have a drummer, we have a bass player, and we have a keyboard player. So we're going to remove tenor, soprano, piano. Remember, we're going to remove the guide and click as well. We're going to remove the drums, the bass, alto. So that's all the instruments we need right there. So keep holding command and start dragging these to where it says Sing a New Song. You want to have it right at the marker line. Let go of your mouse, and then boom. We just dragged our second song right there. So now what we want to do to keep this organized still in Ableton, we're going to want to click on the first track of that song. Don't click on group, just click on acoustic guitar. And this is from our Sing a New Song. Then we're going to scroll all the way down. Now hold shift and press percussion, which is the last track. And then Command G to group. And now our second track set list is grouped now. And we can actually rename these groups. Let's just collide this one. And look how clean and organized it looks. So we're gonna click on our first group, which is 7 group, and we're gonna rename this with Command R. We're gonna name this, I forgot the first song. I won't stop now. Obviously, it won't fit into one box, but the second one, we're going to rename this to Sing a New Song. And there we go. Now we know what song gets on those groups and what tracks it will contain. Now, let's say we are not flowing from the second to the third song. Let's say it's offering, and then now it's like a worship song. So what you want to do, let's say Sing a New Songs and ends at 408. Now what we want to do, we're going to want to have 4 measure for space, so you have enough time to pause the second song with the space bar. Again, to play, let's, for example, with Sing a New Song, you press space bar to play it. Which we forgot our click. My bad. Alright, so what you want to do, you want to drag the click channel to the click track to the click channel, and then the guide to the guide channel. Now it's gonna overlap. It's fine. The new track that you're dragging in, it's gonna override the existing one. There's no click or guide at all during that point, so you can just click it. You can just drag it into the marker line. So there we go.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
And there we go, folks. We got our second song fully now. But as I was saying, let's say you're ending the song, you have enough time for spacebar. You want to drag the next song at least 4 measures. So we're going to start this at 412. We're going to create a marker. So make sure you hover where it says 412 right here. And then left click. And then we're going to add a locator. And we're going to name this song Anything Can Happen. We got our another marker and measure 412. So that's going to be our third song, which is a worship song. So now you're going to find your song, which in this case is right here. Anything Can Happen. We're going to go to the Multitracks folder. And then we're going to click our first track, hold shift, and click our last track from here. It's going to highlight all of them. Now we don't need singers, piano, bass, or drums. All right, now we're going to click on command, and we don't need the piano. We don't need the guide for now. We don't need the click track as well for now. We don't need drums. We don't need background vocals, and we don't need bass. So now we got all the instruments that we need. So we're going to drag this all the way till our marker right here. And then boom, we got it. Don't forget your click and guide. Just gonna drag it all the way out there. And then there we go. So now we got our third song in here. So let's group this. Again, click the first channel of that track and the last one, but hold shift. And now we're gonna click on Command G, and there we grouped it. We're gonna collide it, and then we're gonna rename this with Command R. Anything can happen. And there we go. We just got our third song in there. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna click on Anything Can Happen up here, and then we're gonna click spacebar.
1, 2, intro, 2, 3, 4.
There we go. So now we got our three songs for the set list. And then now we want to add the marker for the first song. So you're going to zoom in until you get to measure 1. And then we're going to add locator, and that will be, I forgot the song already, Won't Stop Now. There we go. We got our 3 markers with 3 different songs. We're flowing from the first song to the second one. Again, you don't have to flow, but for the flowing part, you just want to listen to the ending and find out what's the best spot to start your second song. If you just keep looking at those measures to find out where you want to start it, you can actually start it still like between halfway of each measure, like 214.3 if you wanted it to, but that's how you will do it. And other than that, just give 4 measures after the ending of the other song, like we did here on Sing a New Song, and then anything can happen. So now that we got 2 more things to go over with you guys that will be very, very, very beneficial for you guys. So let's say I really don't have time to, let's say we're in Won't Stop Now and I don't have time to go to the third song if we're going to skip that second one. I mean, I don't have enough hands if I'm just doing keyboard, playing piano, and then we really want to go to the Anything Can Happen, and I don't know, like moving the mouse over there. You can use a number keypad on your keyboard to switch songs. How you do this, you want to go to key over here on the top right of Ableton. And now this will pop up, key mappings. So what you want to do, you want to click on Won't Stop Now, the marker. It's going to highlight, and then what you want to do, you want to press 1 on your keyboard. There we go. The keyboard number 1, it's going to play Won't Stop Now. It won't play it. It will just like set the marker to that. And then Sing a New Song. Now be careful, because when you click on it, it's probably going to drag the marker around. You just want to just click it as precise as possible. If not, just zoom in. And then Sing a New Song will be number 2 on our keyboard. And then Anything Can Happen, it's going to be number 3 on our keyboard. There we go. So now we set numbers 1, 2, 3 on our keyboard to assign the songs. Number 1 on Won't Stop Now, number 2 on Sing a New Song, and 3 on Anything Can Happen. So now what we're going to do, we're going to exit the key. So just click on key on the top right side of Ableton. And then it'll take us back to our original position right here. So now what we want to do, we just want to play around. Let's press on 2. Just take a look at Sing a New Song. Ableton will set the marker right at Sing a New Song to start playing right there. Click on 3, it's going to set it to Anything Can Happen. And you can see the measures changing right here where the song is going to start within our set list. So let's say Won't Stop Now.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Bridge. Outro.
And then we end the song right there. Obviously, we're not ending right there. So let the song fade. You can click on stop, and then let's say Spirit of the Lord moves, then we want to skip the second song and go straight into our worship. song, which is Anything Can Happen. So what you do is just click on 3, and then now it sets it to Anything Can Happen.
1,
and we just literally
2,
skip the second.
intro, 2, 3.
And from there, we just literally skip the second song. All right, the last thing we're gonna do, we're gonna set up an automatic stop MIDI signal within our computer to stop the track, so that way we don't have to. So that's why we created our stop MIDI signal right over here. To set this up, what we want to do, we're gonna go down search on your MacBook right here, and we're gonna search up MIDI, and we're gonna click on here, audio MIDI setup. So this will pop up right here. So this is pretty much just configuring your audio devices and everything else. Now what we want to do, we're going to click on window right here, and we're going to click on where it says show MIDI studio. This will pop up right here. It won't look the same as mine over here. I have a lot of MIDI devices that are connected to this computer. But what you want to do, this you want to look for this IAC driver. It's going to pop up on yours. It's by default there. You're going to double click it. We want to make sure this device is online. So if it's not, just highlight it to devices online. And then we're just going to exit out of here and exit out of our MIDI application right here. So now we want to go click on any gray area on Ableton. And then what we're going to do, we're going to go to live and then settings. And then what we're going to, this is your settings for Ableton. We'll come back with this in a bit actually. And we're going to go to link and MIDI tab that's on the right. And then now you're going to see that the MIDI ports, it says IAC driver bus 1 and output IAC driver bus 1. What you want to do, you want to click, make sure the track for both are on and the remote for both are on as well. And then we're just going to exit out of here. So now where it says stop, we're going to go to the stop channel right over here. You're going to see some settings. Make sure to expand the stop channel so you can see these settings right here. Where it says all ends, so the first drop down, we're going to click on IAC driver bus 1. And same thing with the output, IAC driver bus 1. I know it's the same name, but trust me on this one. So now we got that set up. Now what we want to do, let's say we're going to start at the sing a new song. We want it to stop right as it hits the white line. So what you want to do, we're going to create what's called a MIDI clip. So let's say we want to stop at 408.2 because that's the ending of the song. So what we want to do, we're going to click here, make sure your marker is set to 408, and we're going to left click and hold it all the way to, and start creating like this highlighted area to 408.3. Now you're going to use the following on your keyboard. You're going to click on Shift Command M. And then now it's just created a MIDI clip. There we go. And now what we want to do, we're going to want to create what's called a MIDI keyboard signal. So right here, if you don't see this at all, let me see if I could try to collide it a little bit. If you don't see this area at all, what you want to do, you want to click here, this bottom right arrow right here, and it's going to pop up this. We want this to pop up. Now you're going to see a keyboard right over here. What we want for Ableton to do for us, when we create a MIDI signal, where if a note hits C3, we want Ableton to stop the track. So what we're going to do, we're going to click on B on the keyboard and check my mouse right quick. Once I hit B, it turns into this drawing stick. So now what we want to do, we're going to want to find C3, or you can do whatever you want. I just use C3 on this to stop the track. And then you're going to want to zoom in a little bit, and then make sure when you, on measure 1, you want to hit the first box that's on C3. And there, we just created our signal note right here that whenever we hit C3, it will stop Ableton, like stop the track pretty much. Now what we want to do to assign this automatic stop, we want to go where it says MIDI up here. And now what we want to do, we're going to start the song at 4 or 5 right over here. As long as the mouse converts into speaker, that means you can start the song right there. What we want Ableton to do, as soon as I start playing the song and I press the stop button up here, we want Ableton to read that C3 note to assign the stop button to that note. So we're going to start it right now. I'm clicking the stop button as soon as I play the song. Don't use the space bar. You just click on under 505. 405, sorry. Click spacebar. Now, this just popped up. When note C3, when we create a MIDI note that contains C3, which is what we did at the bottom right here, we want Ableton to stop the whatever we're doing. So now, what we're going to do, we're going to exit out of the MIDI track channel right here, MIDI settings, sorry. And now we're just going to play the song at, let's say, 401.
Ending.
We're going to watch it stop. You see that we just created an automatic stop button right there. You can do that with any songs, just don't do it with the ones that are flowing. Let's say if we want to just sing a new song and then transition your band into anything can happen. So since it stopped, we're going to click on 3 and now we're going to begin our worship song.
1, 2. Intro 2.
There we go. We want to save this file now. That's our last step. So what you're going to do, you're going to click on File up here. We're going to click on Save Live Set As. So now, here's the thing. You're going to create a new folder, whether it's on your desktop or on your hard drive, which in this case, I have a folder that's named Setlist. So you want to create a new folder. You can do it here on Mac. In this case, I'm just going to create a new folder for you guys. I'm going to name this Downtown Church Setlist. There we go. And then on the save as, we're going to highlight everything. And what I usually do, I just put the date that my service will be, which in the next case, I think ours would be October 22nd. So we're going to do this as 10/22/23. And then save. There we go. So now if I go to my folder, to my Finder, and then I click on hard drive, and then we're going to look for a Downtown Church set list. There it is. So everything, and like I said, if you have your tracks and your template on the hard drive or on your desktop, it will all combine together. It's going to read from each other all the information that it needs. So we're going to close up Ableton. And now we're going to click. We're going to find our Downtown Church set list, and then click on 10/22/23, and then open up the Ableton file. There we go. Literally all of the work we just did is right there, and now we can just start playing for church. And that's it, everyone. I know it was a long video, but we really covered a lot of things that you needed to know, and benefits of some of those stuff as well, like stop automation, and you can use your number keyboard to assign the song marker. Again, the first video we covered about where can you get your Multitracks from 3 different sources. The second video we covered how to set up your template with your folders as well. And this video we just covered how to use Ableton and how to play the Multitracks and a lot of other benefits. Next video, what we're going to talk about, it's going to be a little bit related to our Ableton setup. We're going to talk about the equipment that you will need to run the sound to the board, how to set up your Ableton routing into the board, and a few other stuff as well. Hope this video's helped you guys out to get started on Ableton. If you guys already know how to route it, then go ahead and then just use this template. If you guys are having trouble with this template, I will put a link on the description for this template that we just created with the rest of the stuff that we will talk about in later videos. I will put this link in later videos so that way you guys have an understanding of what's in that template and how it works. Don't forget to like and subscribe this video, and other than that, we'll see you guys in the next video.